After a few updates, Grow a Garden has done it once again. People are very disappointed with the brand new Grow a Garden update, as they have changed a lot of stuff after the update came out, and well, let's just say overall it's not been received good. There's a lot of things that has been introduced in this update that people aren't happy about, and how the game has turned out to be pay to win. Because no joke, the last two updates have actually been the most pay to win updates in the entire game, and they've only been secretly adding in these things. Now, I do gotta say that this update definitely introduced something that I think people liked, and that was not having to wait for the fact of playing the event. You can actually go ahead, look at the cheese shop or whatever this thing is called, and as you can see, there's a restock button. You're able to restock this whenever you feel comfortable in doing so. And also, as you can see, they just added this Tranquil radar, which I'm going to talk about on what that is in a second too. Oh my god, there's a spiked mango in stock? Yes sir, give me that. That's my second one. But as you can see, I've gone ahead and finished the Zen update. I played everything inside this update, and I know about every single one of the pets and everything that got added. One thing I can tell you I really like for sure is the fact that I am able to restock the Tranquil treasure shop right here by spending some shekels. Now, this doubles every time, but as you can see, I can restock it whenever I feel like, you know, I want more stuff or I have a lot of shekels to spend, and I can just get a bunch of cool stuff, cosmetics, perks, stuff like that. It can be anything. And there is no pay-to-win restocking. Like, that is the good thing about this. You can restock for 2 million shekels, and then, well, it goes to 4 million. But boom, look at that. I get all the stuff. Tranquil radar, give me that. Is there a gnome crate? Why not? Let's have it. But unfortunately, the problem is somewhere else. To begin with, the newest thing that has just happened, they went ahead and made some fixes / changes. One was adding the Tranquil radar gear, which I showed you, and this allows you to collect fruits with the Tranquil mutation in a nearby radius and can be purchased in the Zen shop. They also fixed the Tranquil mutation not visually showing on specific fruits, slightly adjusted the colors and visuals of the mutations, and a few more small, they say small, fixes / changes. Well, I'm sad to announce that those changes weren't actually small at all, and they're not talking about the nerfs that they went ahead and did this update. The only good change that came out of this was changing the looks of the mutation so you can see it easier, as well as adding the Tranquil radar. Now, I will say this thing is not even that good. I don't think I have any Tranquil plants laying around, but if I just go ahead and use the radar, you'll see how small the radius of this thing is. Like, watch this. If I use a right, you're assuming it's gonna go for everything, but as you can see, it's only ever so small. It literally only goes to that little amount of space. And look, it just gave me one pine cone. Wow, that's amazing, right? Also, if you guys don't know why my garden looks like this, definitely make sure you watch my previous video after this. It'll be linked at the end of this video, but there's some very good methods of beating this entire update. I went ahead and beat this in like 2 hours, and I got from stage 0 to 7, so it was super easy for me to do with this method. Definitely check it out. But when you're at max stage, you can continue feeding it into this guy, which, to be honest, in my opinion, you definitely shouldn't, because it's kind of a waste, and it's better to actually just go here, say take my Tranquil plants and get chi for it instead, in which then you can spend it on the shop, of course. Now, they went ahead and made some changes to the shop, man, that a lot of people are upset about. If you did not notice, they actually went ahead and made some changes to the stuff here. Now, I have to go restock this one more time because, well, I need the Zen egg to go in stock, and for some reason this thing is not going in stock. I wonder if they made any changes to that. But as you can see right here, this koi fish that is in stock, it actually is right now, but now it says Fish of Fortune grants a chance to recover an egg when hatching, comes in different colors. If you didn't know what this did before, it was actually much better than it is now. If you look carefully in my last video where I talk about the insane method to get chi, right here it says Fish of Fortune grants a small bonus to egg hatch luck. With this change, they went ahead and nerfed it, and the whole community is mad because it feeds into the pay to win this update has. If you don't know, this update introduced this kitsune. Obviously, it's the best pet in the entire game, but also the most pay to win pet yet. And if you go over into the shop and take a look at its chances, it is a 0.08% chance to get the kitsune out of here, meaning it is the hardest pet to ever hatch inside the game. Not only that, the mutations it gives you is absurdly insane. It's also the first rarity prismatic pet, but as you can see, every 18 minutes, it goes to another player's crop, mutates it with chakra. So literally, it could be a candy blossom, and then it duplicates it and gives it to you. But it also has a very rare chance to mutate with the foxfire chakra mutation instead. That mutation is one of the highest multiplying mutations in the entire game. I believe the Foxfire Chakra is like a 90x multiplier, so it's very good. And even the normal one is still very good because it's a 15 times multiplier. This actually sparked some controversy on Twitter as well. Gravy Catman actually went ahead and tweeted about this, saying this needs to stop. Grow Garden is a game about plants, not trying to hatch Titanics. In terms of Pet Simulator 99, in case you guys have ever played it before, chances of actually getting very rare stuff in that game are absurdly rare, and it seems like they only get rarer and more rare every single time. And as you can see, he says keep the rarest pets at 1% chance, which I think is fair. Literally, the chances of getting the premium primal egg, the best thing inside the egg, is a 0.5% chance, meaning it's 1 in 200. However, with this new update, the chances are so different. It goes from 1 in 200 to, like, if I go ahead and select it, where is it? Zen egg? It's a 0.08. So that means that's less than 1 in 1,000% chance. Basically meaning it's 5 times as rare to get, which I think is absurd. I do understand it's a prismatic pet, so, you know, they might want to make it a little bit better. But without a doubt in my mind, there should be absolutely no reason for it to be this rare, considering the fact most players in this game are kids, especially some of you guys too. I don't know, maybe some of y'all watching this video could be like 5 years old, but you know, it's very hard for some people to even get that stuff because it only becomes pay to win. And I don't know if the chances of the pay to win egg, or like if you were to go ahead press this with the Robux one, are higher, but I doubt it is. Oh, let's not forget to mention the ridiculous wait time that you have to wait for this thing to hatch. Like, look at that. It is 4 hours long. There's no reason it should be 4 hours long to have a chance at getting something that's 0.08%. A lot of people have seen this update as pay to win, and I totally agree. It's definitely a step in the wrong direction, and I feel like they were pretty lazy with this update. In comparison to other games, Grow a Garden, I feel like takes a lot less time to do their updates because it's just simply one thing. There was nothing really unique about this update. It was all an event that happened, which I will say event is pretty good for itself. You know, on the fact that, like, you know, the best fruit you can actually get for free is a mythical. Last update, it was the Bone Blossom, aka the best thing in the entire game, and now that is gone all of a sudden, and they just leave you with a mythical fruit that is nowhere as good as the Bone Blossom. The only one that is close to it is the pay to win one, aka the Maple Apple right here. And with them adding pet mutations, they obviously went ahead and made a pet shard, which is pay to win as well. That is right here. As you can see right now, there's no stock of it. But this thing is 279 Robux, and it says it calms your pet's minds and makes it tranquil, which, if you don't know, it gives it the tranquil mutation. And fun fact, just watch how pay to win this is. I do like how you can actually get out of the shop. I hope the chances are good for normal players. But if I go to my garden and I just apply it to a random pet, let's do, you know what, let's do a disco bee right here. As you can see, and I click view, every 25 minutes, a nearby fruit finds inner peace, applying the tranquil mutation. Oh, and if you didn't notice, its age does not reset whatsoever. It stays at 41 because I spent Robux to get this pet shard. That does not reset its age. I will say I have to respect the developers for one very important thing that I know they've been working very hard on, which might be why this update is just not as good. And that is the save slots right here. The ability to be able to switch to 2 different save slots after spending like 25 billion for the second one. But this is a very good feature in my opinion, because this allows you to get a bunch more space in your garden technically. It doesn't reset your data. It's not like you're playing a completely brand new game, but you get to, one, claim all of the stuff that you want from your previous garden. So if I want these ember lilies, boom, I can go ahead, claim them, and they'll grow whenever I come back. But what's even better is that, for example, I can go back to my old garden right here and instead pick up these moon melons, which I have saved up here in order to feed my pets. And boom, I can go ahead, feed them just like so, and get them all to be full, so that way they're consistently leveling up when they're on my other garden. There we go. They have all been fed, and this is definitely very good for those who have a bunch of alt accounts for sure. But it's also very good for free-to-play players, because now you don't have to consistently expand your garden, because, well, gardens would get really big if you could keep doing that. But you get to have a completely separate save slot, which is very nice. A lot of people have also mentioned how they think it's very hard for the Zen Egg to actually appear in stock, like I was mentioning a second ago. For some reason, this thing just does not come into stock, even though it's what is the rarity? It's a legendary. This is the rarest pet or egg that has ever been added into the game that has like a hard time being in stock. I will say the better part of that is, though, the Zen seed pack is always in stock almost. You're going to see a lot more frequent. And for some reason, it's more expensive in Robux than the Zen egg. I'm assuming that they give you the premium exotic versions of the pack. That's probably why. The way this was actually a problem within the last update was the way they introduced pet mutations. If you don't know, rainbow pets or rainbow stuff in general was only possible through the pay-to-win seed packs, which was okay because it did not apply to pets. But now, ever since the last update, we now can get rainbow pets, which are ridiculously overpowered. I'm talking like 2 times better than normal versions of them. And at the moment, the only way for players to passively get this is by mutating their pets after they have turned them to level 50, with a very low % chance of actually getting anything good. But in the end, the good thing is that Jandel is looking constantly at everybody's suggestions and what they think of the updates that are added into the game. So there's a very good chance that we're still going to see some changes, possibly even further chances of getting the Zen Egg to appear in the shop, as well as the chances of the Kitsune pet itself. Who knows, they might also actually be planning on keeping this egg, hence why it's a very low chance of actually getting, but it is better than the raccoon after all, so I'm not very sure. And the other bad side of this update is that the people with the prismatic and transcendent, aka the bone blossom, are the only ones who are getting this, because it's so much easier to do this event if you have transcendent or prismatics. And transcendent is literally only the bone blossom inside the entire game that has that. This literally allows you to get mutations on the best stuff, aka giving you more points, which ultimately end up being more chi whenever you actually give it to this guy over here. What they should have done is kept in the old event some way or another, because it was honestly gone way too soon for the bone blossom. A lot of people weren't able to get the bone blossom because you had to constantly do the quest in order to make sure that you get it in time. And well, as you can tell, it's gone out the game. It could have even been placed inside the Tranquil Treasures. Like, imagine it just being right under the spiked mango or something with a very, very low stock chance. But even that is good enough to convince players to actually join the game. Or they could have kept in the quest system, because in the end of the day, the quest system had weekly bonuses that people could complete. They could change out the bone blossom for something else anytime that they wanted to, but unfortunately, they just decided to wipe it out the face of the game. And considering right now it's the only transcendent rarity plant, bro, it's so hard to get. Like, there's no way to actually get it anymore. But the only problem is if the game continues on in this direction where free-to-play players are ultimately limited from what the pay-to-win people can do, that's going to cause problems. Like right now, there's no way for people to get a rainbow Spinosaurus, because first you have to get the normal Spinosaurus from the primal eggs, and then you have to mutate it over here with only a 3% chance of getting it. And if you don't get it at that time, well, you're kind of cooked because you've already mutated the pet. The way the developers have been able to kind of change this around is the pet shards that they added. I think it's a very good thing that there is brand new pet shards in the game in which you can directly buy these out of stock or with Robux, and this completely mutates your pet without having to risk a chance of what mutation you get, because in the end it does reset your pet's level if you mutate over there, and well, your pet just becomes way worse. And one thing I highly suggest the developers do is make the Tranquil mutation a little bit more common. And when I say more common, more that it gives you. So instead of having the point system being very high up, instead they could make it give you more mutations to your plants. This actually helps free-to-play players because people who do not have all prismatics and stuff will be able to get the stuff. For example, the amount of trees I have right now is enough for the amount of Tranquil mutations that the monk actually sends out every time. So if he's sending out more mutations, I have more of a reason to plant stuff that is much worse. For example, I mean, what seeds do I have? A Lumira seed or whatever, aloe vera, whatever. But this balances it between free-to-play and pay-to-win more, because then that way they will have more plants that will get this mutation, and it's going to help them in that case too. Technically, it's good for everyone, but it's just better for those who do not have infinite amount of Robux to spend. But right now, at the moment, spending $1,400 in, like, on average to get the Kitsune is insane. And, bro, this thing just needs to be changed. And I really hope the developers see this video and understand. But who knows? Maybe part 2 of the update could change some stuff around. Maybe they can add back the Bone Blossom as a type of event merchant or something that can be given every so often at a very low chance. Or maybe even another fruit that replaces it in the next update. Who knows? The developers probably have stuff planned for updates to come. But if you did enjoy this video, go ahead, watch this video on the screen right here. Please go ahead, click it fast, because this video is about to end and it's a way better video. So hurry up and click it because this video is about to end. Until then, watch this video to get fast cheat, and bye.